Welcome back to Simple Mind Space, the podcast dedicated to helping you master your money and your mind. This week, we're diving deep into a topic that's close to my heart, personal transformation. Now, you might be thinking, oh no, not another self-improvement spiel. But trust me, this isn't your typical motivational talk. This is about raw, honest, and actionable habits that have completely changed my life, and I'm confident they can do the same for you. I'm not talking about some grand life-altering scheme. I'm talking about 7 simple habits that, when implemented consistently, can create a ripple effect of positive change. I'm talking about the power of waking up early, the magic of daily exercise, the peace of journaling, the joy of mindful eating, the freedom of limiting screen time, and so much more. We'll unpack each habit, explore its benefits, and I'll share personal anecdotes about how these habits played out in my own life. Let's be real. Life can get messy. We get caught up in the daily grind, the endless to-do lists, the constant notifications. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, burnt out, and disconnected from ourselves and what truly matters. But it doesn't have to be this way. These 7 habits are about reclaiming your time, your energy, and your focus. They're about creating space for personal growth, self-care, and a deeper connection to yourself and the world around you. So if you're ready to break free from the mundane, to ditch the overwhelm, and step into a life that feels more aligned, more intentional, and more fulfilling, then stick around. It's time to discover the transformative power of simple habits. Let's kick things off with the first habit that revolutionized my daily routine, waking up early. Now I know what you're thinking. I'm not a morning person. Believe me, I used to be the queen of hitting the snooze button. Mornings were my nemesis, rushed, chaotic, and often setting a stressful tone for the entire day. But everything changed when I decided to give early rising a shot. I started small, setting my alarm just 15 minutes earlier than usual. It wasn't about making a drastic leap, but about gradually easing into a new rhythm. Those first few days were definitely an adjustment. I won't lie, there were mornings when the allure of my warm, cozy bed almost won out. But I persevered, reminding myself that this wasn't just about gaining extra time. It was about reclaiming my mornings, about starting the day on my own terms, not in reaction to the demands of the world. And here's the thing. Once I pushed past those initial hurdles, something incredible happened. I began to crave those quiet, peaceful moments before the rest of the house stirred. The world felt still, almost magical, shrouded in the soft glow of dawn. It was like having a secret pocket of time, a sanctuary where I could simply be without distractions or demands. Waking up early wasn't just about the time itself, though. It was about what I chose to do with that time. It became an opportunity to cultivate a more mindful and intentional start to my day. I started incorporating practices that nourished my mind, body, and soul. Imagine this, stepping onto my balcony, a steaming cup of coffee in hand, as the first rays of sunlight paint the sky in hues of gold and pink. It wasn't just about witnessing a beautiful sunrise. It was about connecting with nature, feeling the crisp morning air against my skin, and taking a moment to simply breathe and appreciate the beauty around me. Those early morning hours became my sacred time for self-care. Sometimes it was a gentle yoga flow, stretching out the kinks and welcoming the day with movement. Other times, it was a few minutes of meditation, quieting the mental chatter and setting a positive intention for the day ahead. I discovered the power of journaling, pouring my thoughts and feelings onto paper, untangling my mind before the day's events could cloud my clarity. The most surprising benefit? I no longer felt that frantic morning rush. I had ample time to enjoy a nourishing breakfast, to savor my coffee without gulping it down, to plan my day with intention instead of reacting to it as it unfolded. Waking up early wasn't just about adding hours to my day. It was about adding life to those hours. And here's the thing. It wasn't always sunshine and roses. There were mornings when my alarm clock felt like my worst enemy. Mornings when I had to drag myself out of bed kicking and screaming. But I learned to be kind to myself on those days, to acknowledge that it's okay to have off days. It's about progress, not perfection. Even on those tough mornings, I still felt a sense of accomplishment, knowing that I had shown up for myself, that I had chosen to start the day with intention, even if it meant hitting the snooze button once or twice. If you're hesitant to embrace the early morning, I challenge you to experiment. Start small, be kind to yourself, and discover how even a slight shift in your wake-up time can have a profound impact on your day, your mindset, and your overall well-being. Now let's talk about the second game changer, daily exercise. I'll admit, I wasn't always a fitness enthusiast. In fact, I used to have a black belt in crafting excuses to avoid working out. My go-tos included, I'm too tired, I don't have time, or my personal favorite, I'll start tomorrow. If any of these sound familiar, you're in good company. The turning point came when I realized that my aversion to exercise wasn't really about the exercise itself. It was about the all-or-nothing mentality I had built around it. I had this image in my head that exercise had to be this grueling, hour-long ordeal at the gym. No wonder I was avoiding it. So I decided to shift my perspective. I stopped focusing on the intensity or duration and started thinking about movement as a way to honor my body, to release stress, and to boost my mood. I made a commitment to move my body every single day, even if it was just for 15 to 20 minutes. Now, I know what you're thinking. 15 minutes? That's it? But here's the thing. Consistency trumps intensity. It's about creating a sustainable habit, something you can stick with long term. I started by incorporating short bursts of activity into my day. Some mornings, it was a brisk walk around the neighborhood, feeling the sun on my skin and the fresh air filling my lungs. Other days, it was a quick yoga flow in my living room, stretching out my muscles and calming my mind. I dug out my old jump rope, remembering the simple joy of childhood games. The key was to find activities I genuinely enjoyed, things that didn't feel like a chore. And here's where the magic happened. I started to crave those moments of movement. The endorphin rush after a workout became my new addiction. I noticed a significant shift in my energy levels, my mood, and my overall sense of well-being. I felt stronger, more alive, more capable. Exercise was no longer a chore. It was my time, my space, my way of showing up for myself. One of my favorite discoveries was the power of outdoor workouts. I started going for hikes in nearby parks, trading the treadmill for trails surrounded by trees and birdsong. It wasn't just about the physical benefits. It was about connecting with nature, feeling the earth beneath my feet, and breathing in the fresh air. It was a powerful reminder that movement could be so much more than just a means to burn calories. But the most significant transformation happened within my own mind. As I pushed my physical limits, I realized I was also pushing my mental boundaries. I started believing in myself more, trusting my strength, and embracing challenges with a newfound sense of determination. So, if the thought of exercise fills you with dread, I urge you to reconsider. It doesn't have to be about achieving a certain body type or fitting into a specific mold. It's about finding joy in movement, about celebrating what your body can do, and about reaping the countless mental and physical benefits that come with a consistent exercise routine. Start small, find what you love, and watch as this simple habit transforms not just your body, but your entire outlook on life. Let's move on to the third habit, journaling. Now, I used to think journaling was just for angsty teenagers or people with an abundance of free time. But let me tell you, journaling has become one of the most powerful tools in my self-discovery and personal growth journey. I started journaling with a simple notebook and pen, nothing fancy. No need for elaborate bullet journals or fancy calligraphy, just a raw and honest conversation with myself, poured out onto the pages. At first, it felt a bit awkward, like I was talking to myself in the mirror. But as I continued, day after day, something incredible happened. The page became my safe space, a judgment-free zone where I could be completely vulnerable. I wrote about everything and anything, my dreams, my fears, my anxieties, my triumphs, no matter how big or small. It was like having a therapy session with myself, except it was free and available 24/7. Journaling became my emotional outlet, a way to process and release the thoughts and feelings that swirled in my mind. It was amazing how simply getting those thoughts out of my head and onto paper could bring so much clarity and relief. It was like untangling a knotted ball of yarn, slowly but surely, until I could see the individual strands. I started noticing patterns in my thinking, both positive and negative. I became aware of my self-sabotaging thoughts, the limiting beliefs that were holding me back. I started to challenge those beliefs, to rewrite the narrative I was telling myself. Journaling became my personal cheerleader, my accountability partner, my coach. It wasn't just about processing the negative, though. Journaling became a space for gratitude, a way to appreciate the good in my life, no matter how small. Each day, I jot down 3 things I was grateful for, from the warm sun on my face to a heartfelt conversation with a friend. This simple practice shifted my perspective, reminding me of the abundance in my life, even on challenging days. Journaling became a treasure trove of self-discovery. By rereading old entries, I gained insights into my growth, my resilience, and my journey. It was like piecing together a mosaic of my life, seeing how far I had come and reminding myself of my strength and capacity for growth. If you're new to journaling, here are a few tips to get started. Start simple. Don't overthink it. Just start writing whatever comes to mind. It doesn't have to be perfect or grammatically correct. Make it a habit. Set aside a specific time each day, even if it's just for 5 to 10 minutes. Consistency is key. Be honest. This is your space to be completely yourself, without judgment. Don't edit yourself. Let the words flow freely. Don't worry about sounding smart or profound. Just write whatever comes up. Experiment with different prompts. If you're feeling stuck, try using prompts to get your creative juices flowing. Most importantly, be kind to yourself. There's no right or wrong way to journal. Just show up consistently and see what unfolds. Trust me, journaling has the power to transform your life in ways you never thought possible. Give it a try and watch as it unlocks a deeper understanding of yourself, your emotions, and your journey. Now let's delve into the 4th habit, mindful eating. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to fall into the trap of mindless eating, scarfing down meals while scrolling through our phones, barely even tasting what we're consuming. But mindful eating is about reclaiming the joy and nourishment that food provides. It's about transforming mealtimes into opportunities for presence, gratitude, and a deeper connection with our bodies. I used to be the queen of distracted dining. I'd eat my lunch at my desk, my attention glued to my computer screen. I'd snack while watching TV, barely registering the taste or texture of the food I was consuming. But when I started practicing mindful eating, my entire relationship with food shifted. Mindful eating is about bringing awareness to the entire experience of eating. It's about savoring each bite, noticing the flavors, textures, and aromas. It's about paying attention to our body's hunger and fullness cues, eating when we're truly hungry, and stopping when we're satisfied. The first step is creating a conducive environment for mindful eating. This means minimizing distractions. No phones, no TV, no work. Instead, I set the table, even if it's just for myself. I light a candle, put on some calming music, and create a space that invites presence and enjoyment. Before I even take a bite, I take a few deep breaths, grounding myself in the present moment. I express gratitude for the food in front of me, acknowledging the farmers, the workers, and the entire ecosystem that made this meal possible. Then I slow down. I put my fork down between bites, savoring each mouthful, paying attention to the flavors that dance on my tongue, the textures that play in my mouth. I notice the colors, the aromas, and even the sounds of my food. As I eat, I tune into my body's signals. Am I truly hungry, or am I eating out of boredom, stress, or habit? How does this food make me feel? Energized, sluggish, satisfied? Mindful eating is not about deprivation or restriction. It's about making conscious choices that nourish our bodies and support our well-being. It's about finding joy in the simple act of eating, appreciating the nourishment that food provides, and cultivating a healthier relationship with our bodies. Here are a few tips to incorporate mindful eating into your life. Start small. Begin with 1 meal a day, focusing on eating without distractions. Engage your senses. Pay attention to the colors, textures, aromas, and flavors of your food. Chew thoroughly. Aim for at least 20 chews per bite. This aids digestion and enhances flavor. Listen to your body. Eat when you're truly hungry and stop when you're comfortably satisfied. Be kind to yourself. Mindful eating is a journey, not a destination. It's okay to have off days. Just keep practicing and notice the positive changes it brings to your life. Now, let's talk about the 5th habit that can be a game changer in today's digital age: limiting screen time. We live in a world saturated with screens. Our phones have become extensions of ourselves, constantly vying for our attention. But all this screen time can take a toll on our mental health, our sleep, and our overall well-being. I used to be glued to my phone, mindlessly scrolling through social media, refreshing my inbox, and consuming endless hours of online content. It was like an addiction, and I knew I needed to break free. So I decided to experiment with limiting my screen time. I started by setting realistic boundaries. I used the built-in features on my phone to track my app usage and set daily time limits for social media and other potentially time-consuming apps. I also designated screen-free zones in my home, like my bedroom and my dining table. At first, it felt strange, almost unsettling, to have these pockets of time without my phone. But as the days turned into weeks, I started to notice a significant shift in my mood, my focus, and my overall sense of calm. One of the most immediate benefits was improved sleep quality. I used to scroll through my phone in bed, the blue light from the screen interfering with my melatonin production and making it harder to fall asleep. By banning screens from my bedroom, I created a more conducive environment for restful sleep. I started reading physical books before bed, dimming the lights, and engaging in relaxing bedtime rituals. Without the constant barrage of notifications and updates, I felt less anxious and more present. I found myself more engaged in conversations, more attentive to the people around me, and more appreciative of the simple joys of life. I rediscovered the beauty of reading physical books, the joy of writing by hand, and the simple pleasure of a quiet evening spent in nature. Limiting screen time is not about demonizing technology. It's about creating a healthier relationship with it. It's about reclaiming our time, our attention, and our focus. It's about being more intentional with how we spend our precious energy and choosing experiences that nourish our minds and souls. Here are a few tips to help you limit your screen time. Track your usage. Use the built-in features on your phone or download a tracking app to see how much time you're spending on different apps and websites. Set realistic goals. Start small and gradually reduce your screen time over time. Create screen-free zones. Designate specific areas in your home, like your bedroom and dining table, as screen-free zones. Schedule digital detox periods. Plan regular breaks from technology, whether it's for an hour each day or an entire weekend each month. Find alternative activities. Rediscover old hobbies. Spend time in nature, connect with loved ones, or simply enjoy the peace and quiet of doing nothing. Remember, limiting screen time is not about deprivation. It's about liberation. It's about freeing yourself from the constant distractions and reclaiming your time, your energy, and your attention. It's about choosing to live a more present, mindful, and fulfilling life. As we reach the end of our exploration of these 7 transformative habits, I want to emphasize that this is not about achieving perfection or adhering to a rigid set of rules. It's about experimenting, finding what works for you, and embracing the journey of self-discovery. Remember that small changes, when implemented consistently, can lead to remarkable results. Choose 1 or 2 habits that resonate with you. Start small, be kind to yourself, and celebrate your progress along the way. Thank you for joining me on this transformative journey. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends, family, or anyone who might benefit from these life-changing habits. Don't forget to subscribe to Simple Mind Space for more insights and inspiration on mastering your money and your mind. Until next time, stay awesome.